Hello boys, welcome back to another session of video tutorials, and this session is meant for class 12th biology students, and this is meant for 19th October 2020 as we have been into the revision notes. And this session we are going to revise chapter number 8, human health and diseases. So this is again very important chapter, not only for the sake of CBSE exam as well as NEET exam, and most importantly many questions will come from this chapter in UPSC NDA exam. At least minimum 2 questions will come from this chapter. Second, it is the lifestyle. How should we live in our day-to-day life? This chapter will teach us. Many diseases can be avoided just by 2 things. One, drink plenty of water. As I have been telling you, at least 5 liters of water a day. And second, have very happy life, your lifestyle. Don't have unnecessary fights, jealousy, hatred, all this. They poison us. Instead of blood, poison will be there in our body. Hence, have very nice, peaceful life. Help others. That will make you very healthy. So with that note, what is the important main points in this chapter? The state of complete physical. So you must be physically fit. Keep on running. Keep on doing exercises. Do not allow yourself be lethargic. Come on, keep on. Not only in the school, even in your native place. Keep on doing the physical exercise. And then just now I said, mental attitude. Always be sympathetic, be empathetic, be cooperative, help others, and always be happy. And then once you do this, physically fit and mentally happy, I think socially you are well-being. Society will accept you as a good boy, as a good human being. And once a society accepts you, then you are a healthy child. So this is the simple way of living in a healthy way. Health simply does not means disease free. See, most of the people sometimes they will not have any disease, but their mental health is disturbed. So it is not just the physical fitness, it's the mental health also matters most. And health is affected by what are the ways in which our health get affected. First one is, of course, unfortunately, genetic disorders. Nothing can be done by us, as these are the gifts from the parents or the foreparents. But then we have already covered chapter number 11 and 12 in our regular videos, biotechnology, and all these genetic disorders also can be cured. So thanks to biotechnology, thanks to genetic engineering, so no need to worry. Genetic disorders, the defect which child inherits from parents. And then second, infection from microbes and other organisms, So a lot of infection nowadays, COVID-19, and a lot of bacteria, fungus, protozoans, worms, helminths family members. So they all trouble us. Hence we should be away from these microbes and in general we say pathogens, disease causing organisms. And as I said, if you live clean and neat, there won't be any place for microbes in our habitat or in our environment. And the third, as I said just now, repeatedly I said in the class also, lifestyle. What is your lifestyle? So have nutritious food, balanced food, drink clean water. How much? I said 5 liters a day you must drink. And then exercise, as you have been science school student, do a lot of exercise. And I'm sure you are seeing Hrithik Roshan, you are seeing Tiger Shroff, of course, Sunny Deol. You see, in spite of their age and all that, they keep on exercising and make them fit. And even ladies nowadays, you are seeing a lot of exercises by them. And of course, with all the said and done, at the end of the day, you must have a lot of rest. And there also I said, try to sleep 7 to 8 hours a day. This is good for you. And 7 to 8 hours of sleep, as when I said, it should be deep sleep. if you have got 5 hours of deep sleep without any disturbance, undisturbed deep sleep 5 hours, you are still healthy. Okay, so how to maintain good health? Good health can be maintained by balanced diet. I am sure, being biology boys, all of you know by now that your food should contain carbohydrates, it should contain proteins, it should contain fats, it should contain vitamins, it should contain minerals, plus most important, my favorite, H2O, hero to zero, water. So if the food that you are consuming contains these in their required proportion, okay, you should not take only fats, you should not take only proteins. It's a mixer, so it's a chochobat. But person to person it differs. Somebody who is very thin, skeletal appearance, he requires a lot of fats so that he can put on some weight. Somebody who is already obese, you reduce fats, have a lot of proteins. So it depends on the person. Number one, the constitution of the body. Number two, it depends on the profession. Like I'm a teacher, I may be spending energy while talking and standing in the class for 5 hours a day. But what about you? You are all students. And what about your grandfather? Most of the time he is sleeping, he is taking rest. So depending upon the profession. What about the mining workers? Okay, railway coolies. Okay, so depending upon the profession that we do, where hard work is required, your intake as well as your body requirements differ. So based on that, your intake should be there. And second, personal hygiene. You must be always clean and neat. Thanks to COVID, in one way, it has taught us to be neat and clean. Washing of hands, washing of palms, washing of the body in general, and then using sanitizers, face masks. So we are better, in fact, compared to what we were before March 2020. I think October 2020 we are better. As such, as a society, we are improving. Still, a lot of scope for improvement in personal hygiene. And then do exercise, don't neglect your body, regular exercise, and it should be wholesome exercise. Every part in your body should get exercise. And then awareness about the disease and their effect. Awareness about the disease. You should know, like in the month of March, we were not knowing much about COVID-19. But as the days roll on, with a lot of experience, the medical professionals have got improved knowledge now. Now they are more confident in dealing with the COVID patients than in the month of March. So awareness it is. So we are sharing on different social platforms the knowledge about the COVID-19 and their effect. Effect is, the curve is getting flattened. The number of deaths that are taking place have come down drastically. So it's a good sign, and thanks to our awareness about the pathogen as well as the disease. And then we are waiting for this immunization against the infectious disease. We require vaccines. So we are also very busy, whole world is very busy in preparing vaccines against COVID-19. Immunization, improvement in the immunity. Immunity is of course our strength, internal strength. And then proper disposal of wastage. This is the biggest threat for all the major cities. Look at Hyderabad. You have seen the drainage and the rainwater floods getting mixed up and entering into the houses. People died, and look at the way this is being handled. It's pathetic. So as such, in India, in our country, we need a lot of planning, and then we should know how to handle the worst situations. So for that, what is required is forethought. So proper disposal of wastage, if it is not done, whatever personal hygiene is there, that will become null and void. And then control of vectors, it goes hand in hand. If the wastage is too much, automatically vectors will be there, carriers or vectors. Like you talked about flies, mosquitoes, all these are vectors. And then maintenance of hygienic food and water. Of course, that's compulsory, foremost. What about disease? How to define a disease? If you write opposite to that of health, that becomes a disease. We said physically fit, one must be. So if you are not fit, you are physically unfit, that means you are diseased. Mentally alert, if you are not mentally alert, you are mentally dull, mentally low, then you are diseased, person is diseased. And then socially not acceptable. I gave the example of the boxer, okay, the Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson, okay, the fight, the greatest fight that has taken place in the boxing ring. And I said that Evander Holyfield was bitten. His earlobe was bitten by Mike Tyson. See, physically he was fit, mentally he was agile, but socially he was not acceptable because he was breaking the rules of the game and bit the earlobe. Hence, he was imprisoned because of the violations of the rules. So, somebody may be physically fit, somebody may be mentally alert, but if you are doing anti-social things, still person cannot be called as healthy, he is called diseased. And diseases can be broadly grouped into infectious and non-infectious. Diseases that spread from source to source, diseases that restrict to a person or a source. So infectious diseases which are easily transmitted from one person to another are called infectious disease. AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, common cold, malaria, TB, tuberculosis. Of course, we are very, very scared right now. You are not able to come to Sunday school because of COVID-19. Again, infectious disease. And non-infectious disease. Diseases which cannot be transmitted from one person to another are called non-infectious. Like cancer, it is restricted to the person only. BP, hypertension, it is restricted to the person. And diabetes, sugar disease, it is also restricted to the person. So these are non-infectious. And common disease in human, the disease causing microorganisms like bacteria, virus, fungus, protozoa, helminthes are called pathogens. And the pathogen can enter the body by various means and multiply and interfere with normal, vital, means important activities, resulting in morphological and functional damage. So this is what they do when the pathogens enter inside our body. So let us see the list of the casual organisms and diseases. Name of the disease and test. So name of the disease, typhoid, high fever, and the test that one has to undergo is viral test. Casual organism, who causes this disease? Salmonella typhi. This is a bacterial disease. Salmonella typhi, very poisonous bacteria. Sustained high fever, very, very high fever. Weakness, stomach pain, of course, affects his overall body. The entire body will suffer. Second, pneumonia. Again, this is very, very dangerous one. And it is caused by Streptococcus pneumoniae. It's a lung disease, okay? It's related to lung disease. There will be difficulty in breathing, as well as accumulation of water will be there in the lungs, pneumonia. And Haemophilus influenza, flu will be there. Continuous cold and cough will be there. And symptoms, as I said, fever, chills, cough, headache, and difficulty in breathing. A lot of constraints will be there in taking. Alveoli get filled with fluid, as I said just now, leading to severe problems in respiration. So it is called RTI, respiratory tract infection. And then common cold, of course, rhinoviruses, and nasal congestion, you can't breathe in, there's obstruction you feel in the nose, discharge of the sputum, sore throat, cough, and headache. Infect the nose and respiratory passage, again it is RTI, respiratory tract infection. And then the most common one, dreaded one, malaria. Malaria is caused by Plasmodium, again it's a bacterium, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malaria, and Plasmodium falciparum. I understand this is a very, very dangerous one. And then what are the symptoms? Chills and high fever recurring 3 to 4 days, and this takes at least say almost 3 weeks to get completely cured. Parasite multiply within liver cells, of course liver it is, and then attack the RBC. So the affected parts are liver as well as blood, RBC. That is the reason why person becomes weaker and weaker. Then take care of the water. You drink dirty water. In the dirty water there will be a lot of amoeba. So it's called amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery. Entamoeba histolytica, causative organism. And there will be severe abdominal pain because of the pseudopodia. Pseudopodia will pin. Cramps will be there in the stomach. Stool with mucus and blood clot. Look at that. And of course it is followed by constipation. So infection to the large intestine. Very, very dangerous for the small babies. Even babies may get killed in this. Ascariasis. This again helminthes group, platyhelminthes, and the internal bleeding will take place once these worms which are there inside the intestine and stomach, they keep on eating the tissue of the intestine, whether it is a male or female, ascariasis, okay, and there will be a lot of muscular pain, stomach ache, fever will be there, and because we are losing blood, hemoglobin levels will come down, so a person becomes anemic. A healthy person get infected through water, again look at that, and vegetables. That's why I tell your mommy to wash vegetables thoroughly before she cooks. And then elephantiasis, this is restricted to some area like filariasis also. It is Wucheria bancrafti, the causative organism Wucheria bancrafti. It's inflammation in the lower limb and genital organs. There will be a lot of swelling, and this is called swelling of the legs, anekalu. And lymphatic vessels of lower limbs get blocked, so there will be no lymph flow. That is the problem. So bankruptcy and Wucheria, Malay, another one. And the last one we say ringworm. This is done by again Trichophyton and Microsporum epidermophyton. Appearance of dry scaly lesions on various parts of the body, like particularly on the head region and four hands, all this. It is a skin infection, and nails and scalp. So these are the three areas that get affected. So we continue with the next session about the life cycle of Plasmodium. Until then, make this list. This list is important as far as your UPSC NDA is concerned. So make a notes out of it.